for it, but nobody had given it to us so far. It was only three-wheelers. Now we have something similar on four-wheeler. So I just want to know, why did you not mention it there? Does Tata not consider it as an innovation, or do they think that it is just an extension of Tata Ace and not a separate product altogether? I was thinking maybe I should ask or not ask, but then I couldn't stop myself. I thought, let me ask.
No, thanks for asking. You're just being natural. That's fine. It's just that I mean, if I started telling you all the ones, then you'll be sitting here for a very long time. The list I put there is not intended to be an exhaustive list, but an illustrative list.
I thought that was the latest actually.
Yeah, but I've taken from starting in 1887. Let me tell you a little story that will amuse you. You look rather grim in your questions, so let me sort of lighten the atmosphere. You know, there's a guy called Alex Haley. Have you heard of him? He wrote a book called Roots. Anybody? Some of you remember it? It's a bestseller in the 80s, and it's a 700-page book. A black American who wrote about his roots and traced it back in a narrative form into a novel-like history, from the time his ancestor was taken away as a slave from Nigeria or wherever, and then how the family came to America and became what it has. So it's about 8 generations of, it's called Roots. It became a bestseller. Ronald Reagan was a great admirer and a friend of Alex Haley. So Ronald Reagan had the reputation of always turning up on time. And at the Waldorf Astoria in New York once, for the first time, he was 10 minutes late. And somebody asked him, Mr. President, it's very unusual for you to come late. What happened this time? He said, I'm really sorry. I was in the lobby 10 minutes ahead of time. I ran into Alex Haley. I said, hi Alex, how's the family? And then he kept me there for the next, telling him about 8 generations. So I didn't want to fall into that trap, because if I started telling you everything from 1887, but I accept your point. Magic is a wonderful product. Thank you for bringing it to the attention of the audience.
So I have a question. My name is, I'm here, sir. My name is Divakar. I am from the PGPX program from this institute. You have said before, I was reading somewhere, that you should deserve before you desire. This is an old, probably I'm quoting an old thing. And you also said that in a certain company, if the company has to do well, the people over there in that company should be enjoying what they are doing. So is there a connection, you say, between the innovation and what you said in these 2 sentences, the deserving and the enjoying part within the organization?
You know, when you get to my age, connections are what you see of it. I had no connection in mind. I only want to say that in management pedagogy, since I'm here in a management institute, we tend to make everything teachable and make it into a curriculum and then want to disgorge it. There's nothing wrong with it. After all pedagogy is of that nature. But I wanted to bring out the point that there's a certain naturalness, and naturalness goes hand in hand with enjoyment. You ask your chairman, why does he fly in a balloon at 60,000 feet above the ground? There's no logical reason. I hope the chairman doesn't mind my saying this. It's life-threatening, but he enjoys it. And he might be there for 48 hours. He doesn't know what is happening, and it's an experience. And we are all very blessed if in life we can have a career where somebody pays us and we are enjoying ourselves. Innovation is one way to do it. I'm lucky. I count it as my blessings. I worked 30 years in India's most Indian multinational, which is Hindustan Lever. And the next 10 years I worked in India's most multinational Indian company, which is Tata. And I've enjoyed it. I can't ask for any better blessing. And that would be my wish for you as well. And when you enjoy something, you automatically become natural, and your innovation happens, and you don't know that you're innovative. You don't know, some people are helpful, some people are not. Have you seen a helpful fellow who's trying to be helpful? Who's making the effort to be helpful? Then you see khota lagta hai na? But there are some other guys who say, तेरे को ये करना है, मेरे पास ये दोस्त है, वो cousin है, ये brother है, कुछ न कुछ करके दिखा देगा. So that is the point I was trying to bring out, that we must resort to our natural abilities, and then enjoyment will come. All your career advancement, progression, whatever has to come will come. I asked this question in Tata. I don't mind telling you. Whenever I go to Tata Management Training Center or I meet groups of Tata people, how many of you think Tata is an innovative company? Yes, no. Put up your hands. Oh, you're putting up your hands? Okay. Now that I've given you the presentation, it's unfair to ask you the question. But prior to this, if I'd asked you the question, within Tata companies, I'll tell you my strike rate is 20%. Under 20% of Tata managers think that Tata is innovative. Then they listen to this. They say, हाँ, हमको पता नहीं था. ये हमने किया क्या? So, part of it is your consciousness. Part of it is the lens you see life with. And I, therefore, my purpose of telling you this is not to say Tatas are great. There are 20 companies that are better than Tatas. It's just that I have the privilege of talking to you today. The point I'm trying to make is, learn what you can in the institute, but can you change and clean the lens through which you're looking at the world around you and bring out your natural instinct? That is my real message. And many other things will fall, process and so on will fall into place.
I'm Rakesh Kastiwal. A very important part of innovation is creativity. And this is something which a lot of people say Indians are lacking in. Is there any something specific that you've done in the Tata organization to generate creativity?
I'm not aware that we have done, I've never seen a memo from the chairman saying creativity and how to release it. No, we haven't done anything special. We have some tools. I'm mentioning this only for completeness, like 6-hat thinking, entries and so on and so forth. We've got people who can come and teach those skills. So we've had some creativity workshops and so on. But beyond that, our attempt, and we succeed only to some extent, but our attempt is to remove the barriers to creativity rather than, which is, you know, hierarchy, तुम अपना काम करो, ये मत आंसर, ये सब क्यों करते हो, budget नहीं है, you know, we try to remove these. But beyond that, I don't think there's anything special.
So, over here. The examples which you gave about innovation, most of them seem to be innovation when we look into hindsight. At that point of time, they might not seem to be innovation. Let's say, for example, the Toyota thing or the Tata tea. So how beneficial and how important it is to identify the innovation as innovation when it is at the origin state and foster it?
Then no nano will ever come.